Many people believe that a genius is someone who is incredibly smart, such as Thomas Edison or Albert Einstein. However, being a genius is not just about outstanding skills in math or science. A genius is defined as an individual with exceptional intellectual or creative power or other natural ability. In my opinion, genius-like abilities can be shown in traits much deeper than just math and science. Possessing exceptional creative skills and an incredible amount of talent can also progress someone to the status of a genius. Because of this, Seth Macfarlane should be considered a genius for his variety of talents, both physically in the voices he can do, as well as mentally in the jokes and satire he can produce on TV and in movies. Seth Macfarlane is one of the most well-known comedic minds currently of this generation. For anyone who does not know Seth Macfarlane, I'm sure you've heard of his work. He began his career in Hollywood as an animator and writer for shows such as Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, and Larry and Steve, all popular shows that used to be aired on Cartoon Network. He also helped write for the show Ace Ventura, which was so cleverly written it would later turn into a very popular success as a movie. All of this writing prepped him for the biggest success of his career, which was creating one of the most well-known animated series of this generation called Family Guy. Family Guy was first aired in 1999 and has been on the air ever since. Its 276 total episodes has produced 2 Primetime Emmy Awards and 12 total nominations, making it the first animated winner of this award since the Flintstones in 1961. As well as an Annie Award, which was given to a show with high accomplishments in animation. Family Guy was ranked the 12th best animated show of all time by Empire. This clearly is a show that has been made with an incredible amount of time and devotion, which Seth Macfarlane has given. He writes many of the jokes the show uses, and everything that he doesn't write, he has final say on, which allows him to control exactly what is on the show. He is responsible for drawing the characters in the first season, which later these drawings were computer generated into the characters seen today. On top of all of this, he voices many of the characters in the show. Seth has single-handedly brought this show to the top. With all of these facts, some of you may still be asking yourself,
oh my God, who the hell cares?
Well, you should care. With this many episodes, each with an incredible amount of jokes and dialogue, it is almost unbelievable to think that one man is capable of pulling all of this off.
Wait a minute. That's the smartest thing I've ever heard anyone say about anything.
This alone is further proof that Seth has earned the status and praise that comes from being a genius. However, there is much more that Seth has done in order to earn this praise. Albert Einstein did not learn how to become a genius. He was born a genius. Many geniuses start their success early in life, leaving experience out of the question as a possible explanation for their extreme talent. Seth Macfarlane is no different. At 9 years old, he began to use his abilities to his advantage by drawing and creating his own comic strip that was bought by his town's local newspaper, who offered to pay young Seth $5 a week in order to keep creating them. Imagine the excitement as well as fear that young Seth had when his comic was bought. However, he did not let fear of failure overcome, and he continued to create his comics. Later in his life, Seth created Family Guy and pitched it to Fox with the same attitude he had while making his comics. He was only 23 years old when he pitched the first idea to them. They ended up liking the idea behind the show so much that they bought it and gave its pilot episode an exclusive time slot directly after the 1999 Super Bowl. For someone to have this much success at a young age is unheard of, and it only adds to his resume of genius acts. As mentioned prior, Family Guy takes an incredible amount of time and effort to write and then create. So one would think that Seth Macfarlane, who writes, produces, and voices the show, would not have time to do anything else. But this is where Seth will prove them wrong and show his talent of efficiency. Seth has had 2 other shows in which he also writes, produces, and voices characters for, called American Dad, which began in 2005 and is still on today, and The Cleveland Show, a show that was on the air for a few years but later canceled. He has wrote, directed, and starred as the voice of an animated teddy bear in the movie Ted, which went on to become the top-grossing R-rated original movie of all time, leading to the creation of Ted 2 2 years later. He is the executive producer of a show called Cosmos, A Spacetime Odyssey, which is a show about space on National Geographic. This involvement shows his range of talent, not only in comedy but also in shows about science fiction. This science fiction interest became his inspiration for multiple Family Guy episodes that have plots so complex and creative that they have won multiple awards at Comic-Con, the ultimate venue and most important place for anything sci-fi related. To add to his variety of talents, he also has a talent in singing. He has sung and produced 3 studio albums, as well as the song used in his own movie Ted, which was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Song in a Movie. He has also found time to host the Oscars once and Saturday Night Live multiple times, things only hosted by people who have had top-level success in what they do. Seth's talent is undeniable. His extensive range of talents and efficiency in producing and creative shows is something that many people do not possess on this earth. For someone to be this well-rounded in terms of entertainment and creativity is very impressive and deserves to be praised. Einstein and Edison mastered the craft of science and math. Seth Macfarlane has mastered the craft of comedy, as well as showing off that he has other talents. It would make sense that he deserves the title of genius, as someone who has exceptional creativity ability and above all, raw natural talent. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you can now agree that Seth deserves praise for being a genius.